Scottie Pippen's ex-wife. So
which is
his priorities is all fucked up.
the
Like you
fact that
talking about
he
your
engaged his ex teammate's ex wife
yeah,
was
yeah. Auntie
that
Larissa is
that
now
was
your
nasty.
that's super nasty.
She
But
a sugar mama now.
she's sugar something, but
she a
she's sugar right. Sugar like
she a sugar hoe. That's what she is.
right, right. It is it
It
is
is what
what
it
it is.
is.
But I think that that will play out a lot more when the season is over. I think that's kind of like a 5 year storyline. Let me say that you have to give these younger players 3 to 5 years to kind of become who they're going to become. Um,
Yeah.
Bronny is not a bad player. He's far
Mm.
from he's not a bad player. He needs some seasoning. He needs some growth and development, and that's what he's going to get in the G. That's what he's going to get on the Lakers. LeBron shouldn't have put that spotlight on him. You're already born with the spotlight being the junior of one of the greatest players of all time. LeBron should not have enhanced that spotlight by saying what he said, nor should he have enhanced the spotlight by basically rigging the draft. And when I say rigging the draft, I'm not saying he called I'm
Rob and
about to
them.
say yeah, not what's his name? The he didn't call. I was about to call his dad David Stern, Adam
Adam.
Silver, and said, you know what, we're gonna draft Bronny no matter what, and whoever drafts him, it will be a draft day trade. He didn't do that. He
Nah.
did rig the draft by basically having Clutch tell them, hey, certain teams, you just hey, don't draft them, don't draft them, don't draft them.
No problem.
No problem, we won't. Now, if Golden State would have drafted him, I'm sure LeBron would have been like,
Yo, me and Steph.
it's been real. It's been real. It's been real.
Like,
Golden
yeah.
State didn't draft him for out of respect for LeBron. Cool, right? LeBron shouldn't have put that battery. He should not have put that spotlight on Bronny, and
Nah.
he should not have enhanced it. And yes, he came to him as a man, as they say, and spoke to Stephen A. in the face. But
You went to the wrong messenger, brother.
you went to the wrong message. You got to talk to yourself in the mirror about that one, player. You're a big part of the blame pie. When I say big part, I mean like you're like 80% of the shit. Like,
Especially when it comes to the way media is today, a lot of it,
mm-hmm,
a good portion of it is self inflicted with Braun. Is like, I get it. Like, as much as I'm hard on KD in terms of like stuff that he does within the media and being passive aggressive, LeBron is just as worse. It's just like at this point, Braun,
no, that
what
nigga is worse. Not just that nigga is worse.
like Braun's got to a point where it's like you can no longer hide the rock after you throw it.
No, not at all. No,
It's
no,
it's
no, no, no.
it's, it's, it's like listen, 22 years in, it's like, yeah, at this point, man, like we gonna see the rock that you threw. Like you can get away with it after 10 years, but nigga, you're in year 22, and your team is definitely a title contender, and you're in a position where like you could get your fifth championship ring. At this point, whether criticism or not, whatever that have you, you're going to be dissected no matter what you do, and you can't necessarily hide your rock that you threw at anybody and expect people to be like, "Oh, well, maybe he didn't throw it," and then
No,
someone
that
to call you out on it. Like
yeah,
you've been here, you've been here long enough to people like, "All right, LeBron, like yo, when you were younger, it's one thing. You old
right.
head now. You should know better.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You should know better."
I feel like one of these days we're gonna have a full out LeBron episode, and Matt is gonna be surprised at the criticism that we do give LeBron. I swear to God, he
He's
will
like,
be.
he's like, y'all criticize Braun? Oh, what? After all I said that in the chat, it's like, yo, Matt.
Yeah,
It's like, yo, like Matt. I can be as objective as I'm subjective about things that I like.
hmm, right, right. Just because I champion LeBron doesn't mean I'm not gonna give him the same criticism.
like,
So
come on
right,
now.
right. But final topic.
Yes, sir.
It's something that we speak about from episode 1 to even before we started doing the show.
Mm-hmm.
Um, do the players love the game?
Ooh.
This one has to be a yes or no.
Mm-hmm. Damn. I don't think they love the game enough. I do think they love the game. But I do think they don't love the game enough in terms of what the game has done for them. Like I said, like I think in the first couple episodes, I think they love what the game can do for them personally, but not enough to contribute to the game to push it forward. You know, like when you see guys prioritize max deals over, nah, I want this, I want to win, I want to be put in situations where, you know, they want to be successful. I think it basically cheapens, you know, the validity and the integrity of the game that we love to watch. You know, like I do get the fact that these guys, you know, get max contracts. Now they're getting towards, you know, baseball territory in terms of these numbers. Mm-hmm. It's like when you get paid all that, do you still have enough love to basically represent your team when they need you at the highest moment? Do you have enough of that love when your team, you know, assembled as is to lead them to a playoff game or ascend past that round or be legit contenders to become an NBA champion? Do you have that level of the game to basically play at least like majority of the, like between 77 games and 82 games in a season? Like, are you willing to love a game that enough to basically not take any shortcuts or games off for rest, thinking that, oh, it's going to help me in the long run, when the statistics show that you resting has no correlation with you getting hurt? In fact, you getting hurt increases you getting, you know, like you sitting
and resting
increases your chances of getting hurt. So it's just like, you know, do you love the game enough to give back to those fans that paid their hard-earned money to come see you? You know, those are things that, you know, we talk about, and you see it through the All-Star game. You see it through contract negotiations, you know, every summer. Like you see it through the Jimmy Butler situation. You know, like that situation with Miami, you could have just played out the season and just go wherever you wanted after. You know, honestly, like if you like, I get it. Like, unless if there was a situation that like you couldn't come back from between you and Pat Riley, like, okay, cool. Like if he did something completely off base, I would understand if you crashed out and be like, I want out. But all he said was, you didn't make the play. You didn't make it past the first round last year. You do not have the bandwidth to say, well, if I was playing, New York would be out. If I was playing, Boston would have been champions. He simply told you, be quiet. You lost. You weren't there. Well,
see, that's his problem. But that's the thing. Why doesn't he have the bandwidth to say it? Because this is the same man that's brought you to 2 finals within the past 5 years.
No. Conversely, you're right. But in the same token, it's like, if you're going to say something like that, you do have to show it up. But from Pat Rice's perspective, yeah, sure, Pat was kind of like off base in terms of how he said it. But there are ways of getting that communication out without you resorting to say, all right, because you said that, I don't want to be here anymore. That's because that cannot be the reason or the deal breaker of saying, yeah, I'm checked out.
I don't think that, but we know that wasn't it. But that was definitely
that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
That was the straw that broke the camel's back, for sure.
But at the end of the day, you're a professional. If you signed on to a deal, which is why, regardless of like anything that LeBron has been throughout his career, the one thing I can respect is he never asked for a trade. He's always going to honor his contract no matter how bad the situation is. He's always honored every contract. He never asked out. He waited, all right, I'm going to be a free agent. I'm going to see what I'm going to see. You know, I could stay another year. Maybe I can go, weigh my options. If I do, boom, I'm out. You know? And I'm not saying like everybody to be like, you know, honor your contract. If it's, you know, completely, you know, if you can't necessarily, you know, rectify that conflict you have, or you feel like you've outgrown the situation, by all means, like, all right, ask out. But don't make it to a point where like you're damaging team chemistry. And you're basically confusing your teammates in terms of like, will he be locked in or will he not be locked in?